with your NBA play-in tournament picks. A little different. We are on the road, unable to be in front of the video, but we still wanted to make sure everybody got our free picks, predictions, and betting tips for the NBA play-in tournament. So let's dive straight in with the number 7 seed Boston Celtics versus the number 8 seed Washington Wizards. Listen, when they're healthy, the Boston Celtics have a very good starting five, but they get into trouble when Brad Stevens has to start putting in guys from the bench. Losing 5 out of their last 6 shows the value of Jaylen Brown, who's out for the season with a wrist injury, so it'll be a tough matchup with the Wizards playmakers without him. The Wizards, on the other hand, are on a roll. After a rocky 4-13 start to the season, the Wizards finally started putting things together, especially when they won 8 straight in April. A 3-point overtime loss to San Antonio and a 1-point loss to the Bucks and Hawks broke up a possible 17-game win streak near the end of the season. The Celtics have won 2 of the 3 regular season matchups between the Wizards and themselves, and all the games were decided by 11 points or less, although the Celtics are now without Jaylen Brown. Boston was most likely rooting for those Hornets on Sunday, but now they are stuck playing a very fast-paced and offensive Wizards team. The lack of depth and poor defense will catch up with them here as Washington puts up a lot of points and will advance to the 7th seed in the playoffs. In our next matchup, we have the number 9 seed Indiana Pacers taking on the number 10 seed Charlotte Hornets. The Pacers can score a lot of points and have a great offense, but depends on whether they have no injuries. They are still missing the Paul George type of player to take them on a deep playoff run, and the ongoing injury issues are why they are not a higher seed right now in the East. All their starters are dealing with small injuries, and although Miles Turner is expected to remain out of the lineup, they should get Brogdon, Sumner, and Holiday back for this one. With the season on the line, they won't go down without a fight. Now, on the other side of the court, the Hornets have had a really up and down season, which correlates to the injury problems they also went through, and their top performers not producing steady numbers. This is a young team with a lot of talent, but very little playoff experience, making it hard to bet on them. The Hornets have lost 6 of their last 7 games, and in their last 5 games, they have either been ahead or down a few possessions going into the 4th quarter, but were not able to close them out. They were up as much as 16 against the Wizards on Sunday and could not hold off those pesky Wizards to get the 8th seed in the tournament. In their head-to-head matchups this season, the Hornets took 2 of 3 games against Indiana, but we like the Pacers to even the score in this one. They have a more experienced and well-rounded team to win a one-and-done game. We're taking the Pacers to advance in this one, and the Hornets fall short of the playoffs again. Golden State Warriors, the number 8 seed against the number 7 seed Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Division. Things started clicking again for the Lakers as they have won 5 in a row against some good teams to end the season. With LeBron back after his time off to shoot some salsa commercials, the Lakers should be a favorite in this one. Since returning from his lingering injuries, Anthony Davis has been putting up great numbers, and the Warriors lack the personnel to guard him and the other Laker big men. Now, the Warriors are also in the middle of a win streak right now as they have won their last 6. Curry has had another MVP caliber season and is really the only reason the Warriors are in the chance to make the full playoffs. The Warriors lack the playmakers they have had in the past. They gave them such great distribution on the court. If Curry's having an off day, the scoreboard will most likely reflect that. Now, the Lakers beat the Warriors twice this season by 31 points and 28 points. Curry had 27 and 16 in both of those games. He's going to need much more to win today. And the one game they lost was by 2 points. This should be the best game of the first 4 play-in games, and it should be very high scoring. It seems like a no-brainer here to go with the Lakers, so guess what? That's what we're going to do. Curry and company won't go down without a fight, though, so this should be a good game, with LA pulling away in the end. The last of the 4 to start the play-in tournament is the number 9 seed, the Grizzlies, versus the San Antonio Spurs, the 10 seed. The Grizzlies have been a team all season that you just can't scratch off as a loss before tip-off. They have a solid starting 5 of Morant, Jackson, Anderson, Brooks, and Valanciunas, which I can't say correctly, who are all averaging double figures in points and have good help off the bench. They are 8th in defensive rating, 1st in steals, and have great interior defense, especially when it comes to preventing offensive rebounds. They've won 5 of their last 6, their loss coming on Sunday against the Warriors thanks to Curry's 46 points and 9 3-pointers. The Spurs, on the other hand, have no business even being in the running for making the playoffs. They're 33-39, which is 5 games back of the Grizzlies. They lost 10 of their last 12 and lost Derek White for the rest of the season. Now, the Grizzlies beat the Spurs 2 of 3 times they met this season, and that was with Aldridge and White in the roster, winning by 31 and 17 in those games. Popovich might have a trick or two up his sleeve, but DeRozan does not have the ability to carry his team past a well-rounded Grizzlies lineup. We like the Grizzlies to win this one and cover the spread. Now, the Boston Celtics, we predicted, would lose to the Washington Wizards, which means that their matchup against the Pacers in the second game is going to have to be a no-brain winner for them to make the playoffs. But the Pacers have only won one of their regular season matchups with Boston, and it was early in the season by 1 point. The Celtics have won the other 2, albeit with Jaylen Brown. But these were both decided by 5 and 6 points, and the Pacers still had Oladipo. The Pacers will be playing with a few banged-up guys in a win-or-go-home against Charlotte. In a similar situation, the Pacers will most likely be limping to the finish more so than the Celtics. The Celtics are not a pushover team, and if they lose to Washington, they should come into this game expecting to win so that their season does not end on such a bad note. Both of these teams are banged up and fell short of their expectations this season. With the season on the line in this one, we expect it to be a shootout with a star player prevailing on the winning team. Jason Tatum won't let the Celtics fall out of the playoffs, so don't be surprised if you see a one-man show in this game where he drops a triple-double with 30-plus points. We like the Celtics in a close one, and we'll get to see them play Philly once again in the playoffs. And finally, as we expect the Warriors to lose to the Lakers and the Grizzlies to beat the Spurs, it's the last matchup of the play-in tournament. And the Grizzlies like to attack the paint while the Warriors are 5th in the league from 3-point field goals attempted. So a little bit of 2 different teams here. The Grizzlies need to guard the perimeter to hang around in this one and stick to what they do best, which is getting in the paint, putting up shots, and hounding the offensive glass. The Warriors will keep giving Curry the ball as much as possible. It really boils down to his performance in this game, whether the Warriors' season will continue or be halted short by J.A. Morant and the Grizzlies. These 2 teams met in the season finale where the Warriors got the best of the Grizzlies and went up 2-1 in the season series. The other 2 times they faced off, they were back-to-back games in March where Memphis won the second night after a loss the night before. Listen, although the Warriors will most likely be favorites in this one, we like the Grizzlies to do a similar thing here and bounce back after a loss on Sunday. They will be sure to lock down Steph in this game and attack that glass, racking up those offensive boards, which Golden State has struggled defending all year. We like the Grizzlies to move on in the West. And that's it for our play-in tournament picks. We are sorry we could not be in person this time with you, but as always, make sure you subscribe to our channel, get all those free picks and predictions for the year 2021. Don't miss the description or below in the description, our NFL contest that we're hosting. It's $1,000 we're giving to one of our subscribers for free. Make sure you sign up for that. And as always, sit back, relax, enjoy some NBA. And as always, let us do the work while you do the winning.